perfect location.
Sagan has been eyeing your mount all day.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Liquid's turn to pick.
We're gonna see a Coddle this game. I feel like Liquid don't want to do it already. Now, something we didn't, in my opinion, we didn't see very much of at TI. I feel like teams didn't counterpick GH's Coddle very well. Like, they gave it away, and then it was like, they were very focused on countering other heroes than the Coddle, and then Coddle is like the hidden carry and everything. Really.
Well, I think that there were a number of classically considered counters to Coddle, like the Night Stalker, that teams thought were going to counter GH's Coddle, and they really didn't, because Liquid was ready to play against.
There it is.
But this is what I was going to mention this because you brought up the Chen and Flex pick. Liquid, especially in Scarladder, really went to mostly dual support opens, and I actually really like this moving toward what I started calling the Mineski model of you pick up your 2 supports, you define that aspect of your game, and then you're just going to pick up your 3 cores that you feel like lane really well.
I think the reason this kind of opening is strong is that they have the strong Ench/Chen hero, because if you are second pick in Liquid spot right here, like let's say SG first pick Nyx, and you go Rubik AA, just to make a simple example. You say these are our supports. The enemy team can pick Chen or Enchantress, and you have 2 supports that are weak against this jungling early game pressure hero. You can get punished super hard, but when you are the one picking Chen, you're already taking that out of the equation, so then picking your secondary support in the second pick position is a lot better. We're gonna see the Mirana from SG. This is like a pseudo counter to Chen. Like you can one-shot arrow the creeps, you're a hard hero to gank in the lane, you're pretty good at team fighting overall with Starstorm. And there's a natural synergy between Nyx and Mirana. It's done into arrow combo, so it's pretty solid. Yeah. But nothing special. And I worry right now with this opening that SG from the first pick perspective haven't really counterpicked in the first phase.
Definitely comforts from both of those first 2 picks. Something that Tiolocore plays a lot, and actually ADR's most played in this match is Mirana.
So.
Yeah, very good Mirana.
Yeah, absolutely a good pick for the players. That's not what no complaints on that.
I have a different perspective on this, and I don't disagree with what either of you just said, but to me, when you're this kind of an underdog, I think you want to get through the draft relatively even. I think you can get yourself into really big trouble as an underdog team without much LAN experience with this roster, trying to counterpick too heavily too early in the draft. I think you pick stable heroes. This is a combo that they've played a lot of. Thialco on their 4-position player on the Nyx, ADR in the mid on the Mirana. It's a very stable open for them.
Absolutely. They're sticking to their guns. It's just, for me, I'm not sure how strong this first 2 is against the enemy. First 2, like, it's one thing to break even. I don't know in this match if this is breaking even. And generally, the way the draft goes, the first pick team is considered most of the time to be ahead in the draft, all the way until and including the 4th pick. And then the second pick team can flip everything on the 10th pick of the draft. So if you're breaking even all the way into the last pick, you're going to lose the draft. You need to be ahead. Like, you can't be happy with a draw 8 picks in.
I guess what I hear from a lot of team captains in the draft is if your first pick, you're trying to force the other team to react immediately.
Yes, and right now, I don't feel like Liquid are under particular pressure right now. So Liquid will show their next hero, and then SG will pick. And I want to see SG start counterpicking so that they can get ahead in the draft, and Liquid have to solve a problem with their last pick instead of being free to take whatever they feel like for Miracle.
I think we're just coming at the problem from opposite angles, because I don't want to see another Fnatic game where the draft is just so lopsided.
But that was a second pick AM.
But
well, fair enough.
Fnatic were first pick and counterpicked themselves.
I was going to say,
that's the difference.
Counterpicked. All right.
We're going to pick the counter to what you've just blocked. And then give you 3 more picks.
Interesting Husker ban here for SG. I definitely agree with the Nature's Prophet ban. I think that should be a second phase ban against Liquid a lot of the time after what we saw at TI, especially with the dual support open here.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, that's actually so cool.
This hero is very good with Chen. I like Beastmaster with both Enchantress and Chen. The logic in picking these heroes together is Beastmaster gets the aura, and when the play you make is that the Chen rotates either alone or with the Rubik to the Beastmaster's off lane. And if you execute 1 kill there, you suddenly have a Beastmaster with summons, Chen with creeps, and an attack speed aura, and you actually take the tower in 1 fill. That kind of aggressive play is extremely strong. In addition, Beastmaster has some weaknesses in laning, but Chen is like one of the strongest supports in the first 5 minutes, so you can offset that weakness of the hero. And they both want a 5-man. Again, it's like the Liquid draft is coming together very nicely. Wyvern is a solid solution.
You asked for some counter pick, and the Wyvern is the counter pick to the Beastmaster aura, right?
Winter's Curse against a lot of summons can kill heroes. They have the Splinter Blast against the summons as well to kill them off if they want to do that. Cold Embrace is a pretty nice save against Beastmaster. good choice. Alternatives could have been a saving support with a different type of save than the Cold Embrace. You could have got like Shadow Demon against the Roar. You could have got Oracle against the Roar. The problem is both of those heroes are really bad against Chen.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like both of those heroes are just too defensive, right? I feel like as SG, that's the other trap that I see underdog teams fall into, is that their drafts get a little bit too defensive, and they just get sort of the better team dictates tempo from.
Yes, that is true. I like the Wyvern pick. I like it a lot more than the Mirana pick in the respective slot. I feel like they could have got more out of that first phase than they did. Nyx to me is a great first pick. No complaints about that. And now we'll see what Liquid choose to go for here.
So do we have to worry about any cheese from Liquid still? The Husker is out. Brood is still in the pool.
They don't want to pick Brood.
I
slot
agree.
15.
It's kind of a bad.
You don't pick Brood 15.
Actually, we are seeing more and more. There.
Wow.
No, we're seeing more and more of this. I was just looking at the data, and actually over the last couple of months, it's relatively even. Tail end of the second phase versus fifth phase. Brood used to be almost exclusively a last pick.
No, what I like is if SG could pick Brood now. That is the best slot for Brood in the draft, is pick number 16, or slot number 16.
And we've seen a lot of 16s.
But this is a 15 Brood, which is a bit unusual because now there's 2 core counter picks available. If you pick it on 16, there's 1 core counter pick available, and it's a huge difference. It's still, you know, we need to consider from Liquid's perspective, they're super confident. They play this kind of lineup all the time. It's extreme pressure. Chen pressures, Beast pressures, Brood pressures mid. So they're probably just aiming to, like you said, dictate the tempo of the game. Force SG to run at them all the time to defend.
Which is not a bad plan when you think that actually if you
all.
watch recent SG games, they do run at you in the early game.
Yeah. And so this is the funny thing. I never thought that I would say these words, but I actually kind of like Broodmother now as a pick, because Brood just eats supports. She gets that Deso up early, and she absolutely just chews up your supports and spits them out. And given the importance right now that I think supports hold in the meta, those are high leverage positions. Support kills in the mid game, they matter now in a way that they did not matter even a year ago.
I'm thinking of solutions here. So the way I think about Brood is the hero is best in mid. It's just flat out its best lane. It benefits so much from the fast level so that it can farm jungle. So you either counterpick Brood in lane, so you have a hero that can stand there, or you do that. You don't either do that. You do that. You pick a hero that can stand in that lane. And Mirana is not that hero. So they have to move Mirana to either safe lane or off lane, and then they pick a mid hero. I think this could have been a really amazing Timbersaw game, personally. It's great against Beastmaster. It's great against Chen. It's great against Brood. Very easy to get armor up. Nothing will kill a Timber this game. They're going to go for the Ember instead. Also a solid laning choice.
I mean, if Timber, though, has some counters left in the pool, like Pugna, but I don't know if that fits.
Ember also has counters left in the pool.
Yeah, it's true. Anything is going to be counter.
That's just this is the position you're in, right? So now Liquid are in the driver's seat in the end of the draft because they have the 10th pick of the draft.
Yeah.
Do you feel like SG won the first 2 phases? Is the question here. Like, I think they broke even. Like I don't know if that's good enough.
No, I like I said, I agree with you what you're saying, that from their position, you've got to be ahead going into that last pick, because that last overall pick can be incredibly powerful. But if you had told me ahead of this draft that we were going to think the drafts were relatively even through the first 4 on each side, I actually would have been fairly happy.
I think if they could have accomplished this while being second pick, they should be very happy.
Fair enough.
It's still a good Ember game. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not gonna say this is a bad pick. I think it's very good. It's a hero that stands well against Brood, can farm the Spiderlings. There's very few ways of dealing with Ember for the Dire lineup. They have Roar and they have the Lift, but both of them have the Lift is instant, but the Roar is cast time. You can, if you're a mechanically skilled player, you can slide a fist, jump out. You can just fly out, jump out. You can slide chains. There's options, and it allows them to play aggressively. They can make moves.
I'm gonna nerd for like 5 seconds here. One of the things you'll see on our overlays as the game goes on is you're gonna see Spiderling Gold Fed. And that was actually a really big deal. It was a nerf to Brood a while back that they increased the Spiderling bounties. But Tumman on his Brood is very, very good at not feeding Spiderlings. We're gonna see if that holds up against the Ember. And the Bat Rider, I like this draft from SG. This is all 5 of these heroes are things that they are comfortable playing. Now, I think there's high countering potential right here for Liquid. What do you think about this last pick?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, this is a Laposa Bat, which is by far and away his most played hero. So, I mean, there are 3 very solid comfort picks here.
There's a lot of potential for Lifestealer in this game. Good Bat Rider matchup, and lane. It's good against Nyx.
Yeah.
It's a hero that Ember can't really control. There's Winter's Curse. It's like the only thing that I really dislike about Lifesteal in this game. But I also think just overall Liquid's playstyle and what they want to do, Lifesteal is pretty cool for these kind of moves. He can infest Hawks. They can make moves. He can infest the Broodmother and just come together and kill heroes off. And it's a Liquid hero that they like to play. I'm just looking at heroes that are good against multiple of the... Oh, this is...
The least picked hero in this patch. In 6.0, in 7.06 overall, Spectre is 5 and 14 total.
You could have asked me to give you 25 suggestions for Liquid,
and I wouldn't have taken
mentioned Spectre. No. So this is a complete
nowhere near any.
Is this a Miracle Spectre?
Yeah,
I think it is.
Oh, wow.
It absolutely really. Oh man, Batrider
and he has been playing
some lane matchup.
He has been playing some odd heroes. It has to be said in pubs recently. So
yeah. Yep. Oh, right, Miracle wants a new hero every game. Yeah. That's right, Kuro said that in an interview. So it's like, what do we have left?
He's been playing Earth Spirit in FPL.
All right. Yeah, Miracle plays a good Earth Spirit. He's been playing that before as well.
Yeah.
But, okay, Spectre.
Fun draft. We've got a Brood. Wasn't quite where we thought we might get it, but it is in there nevertheless. So does that sway our panel even further in advance? Is this now a 100% Liquid game, or do you give any hope to our boys from Brazil?
I think the Spectre pick was not good, personally. I don't think they took advantage of having the last pick in this game, but I think Liquid are so confident that they just want to run something different and make it work. They probably feel so good after the first 4 that they felt they could pick anything. I don't know.
I actually think the Spectre is
random the last.
I think the Spectre is decent, just suboptimal. Right? Okay. I actually think I have this game like 65-35 Liquid, but that's actually a lot. My prior odds would have been a lot worse for SG. Okay. So I'm actually pretty happy. I think this game's good.
Do you like the fact that they've gone for comfort here?
Yes, 1,000%.
Okay.
I like the fact that SG can fight, and I think that's their way to win this game, is that they need to look for kills and just bring it to Liquid. Don't let Liquid farm. They have a very weak laner in Spectre, so...
Watch 8. I think that's going to be the game.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, gents. Right then, it is time for our next game, and it is time to hand you over to our commentary team for game number 3. Can the Brazilians pull off a surprise win against the world champions? Let's find out.
Thank you very much, Paul, and indeed a very, very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ODPixel. I'm going to be joined by the fantastic Ben Malini-Wu for this best of 1 extravaganza between Liquid and SG. Ben, we've just seen the draft. We've just seen Miracle. We know what's going on in the draft. He's telling Kuro, he's saying, I want to play Spectre. The question is, has Miracle gone too far?
I don't think so. If you're going to do it versus the team, SG is the right team to do it against. But it's still a Spectre. I think if you ask anyone's opinion about Spectre, it's going to be generally fairly negative. You might be excited to see the hero, but you still think the hero is terrible.
Absolutely. It's, as we heard the stats, it's not great at the moment. A very less often picked than the majority of other cores in this patch, but Miracle, he wants to do it. The rest of the drafts, of course, that Liquid have, these other 4 heroes look incredibly scary. A lot of heroes that a lot of teams at previous lands, such as Kiev, did not want to let Liquid have, or normally regretted when they did. We saw, I believe, in Kiev, Kuro getting his hands on Chen pretty much every game and winning them with quite some fashion. This man, incredibly confident on the hero.
Yeah, now they have 2 supports that you actually need to worry about a lot in the draft. So why Spectre here? Let's kind of go through what Spectre is good and bad at. She has a super long cooldown haunt. It was nerfed in the most recent change to Spectre, which is very detrimental in this sort of patch. You need an ultimate that can fight really, like, just, you know, every 2 minutes, I would say, is not ideal, but playable. Longer than 2 minutes is just... You're stretching.
I mean, absolutely. We see, I mean, in terms of heroes that do have those big cooldowns on the ultimates, so sometimes in the Chinese scene, they come through.
They don't even pick Warlock and Enigma anymore, though.
Yeah, exactly. Heroes like that, even there, have fallen off. And as you say, trying to make something work in this capacity. But maybe that goes to say something. You know, the Spectre, what kind of build are we going to see Miracle do? You know, is he going to be sort of the Radiance Rush? Is he going to go for the sort of phase drums and sort of earlier actions stat build? I mean, what's the plan here from Liquid? You know, with the rest of their lineup, Kuro on the Chen, you know they're going to have this very strong presence in the laning stage. The panel sort of talks about whether SG are going to be able to deal with that, with these sort of defensive supports, having the Winter Wyvern. The panel didn't seem too impressed in the capabilities of this hero against the Chen's rotations. Would you sort of agree this is
not good in rotation, but it's great in the team fight and great in the anti-push? So you can't have it all. A hero can't do everything, so you have to kind of look at your biggest weaknesses of the team. Their team is pretty terrible at anti-push without the Winter Wyvern, and not particularly great at team fight without the Winter Wyvern. Like, they have bad ultimate, but it's still tough to get all that nuke damage in. So I think Winter Wyvern was a really, really good pick for them here. I actually think I would have preferred a LC maybe as opposed to a Bat Rider. I think LC also has a lot of wave clear. He's very good versus the Beastmaster Roar, so he's kind of an all-in-one. But the Bat Rider is much more offensive and has a much better chance of catching out the Brood.
Absolutely, that catch is going to be absolutely essential. They've got good setup as well for these rotations. Obviously, with the Nyx Assassin setting up for the Mirana, could set up for some really nice mid-game global action. And we should be able to get the game underway. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for bearing with us. We did have a brief pause, but the game is underway. We should be able to cut straight into the action now as Liquid versus SG Esports gets itself underway. We'll see what the lanes are going to be as well. At the moment, Miracle looking to take himself up towards the top lane. So is this simply Liquid trying to dodge some sort of lane matchup that could be pretty bad for them to find themselves in?
Well, the Spectre versus Bat matchup is fine. It's not great for Spectre, but it's not awful. But I think you just want to be closer to where the Chen is going to be active so you have that threat, so Spectre can actually farm. Spectre's early game is one of the weakest in the game.
30 seconds to battle.
But she will be, what, versus the Mirana? There's not, the lanes from SG are like not super strong. You're not going to get dominated in the lane. It's not like you're going to be versus Viper or anything like that. So Spectre should be able to have an okay early game, especially with the early performance shield.
And looking to get this matchup down bottom, obviously with these movements, you know, Matumba
so
be there against the poster. So
well, yeah, it looks like the Brood, they want the Brood bottom. Brood versus Ember is actually not that bad. For both sides.
But is Brood versus Bat really good?
It's not great. I would say you ideally want the Brood matchup versus Mirana. Mirana will just get dumpstered by the Broodlings. There's really nothing she can do that early. You don't have enough mana for Starstorm, and Starstorm doesn't even do enough damage, even if you had the mana.
And this is some very interesting stuff, of course, because Liquid, they will be putting Mind Control on the mid lane in this game on the Beastmaster. And already Kuro, just fending off the Theolacor from his half of the jungle. To get the wall down.
Beastmaster's the right click is very strong at level 1.
It is, isn't it, Bob? 66 in order we have with the extra Fairy Fire, 68 right click. But how does he do it? Surely in a lane against the Ember Spirit, there's going to be a bit of... Your boy's just too beefy really to worry about.
His attack animation is really good. His attack speed's pretty decent for a strength hero.
Top lane.
Yeah, so...
2 missed stuns there from SG. A nice little juke, to be fair, from Miracle to dodge out the Impale from the Nyx Assassin. Could have got a little hairy for him up there. Does have the salve ready, so should be fine for now.
Yeah, he's already burned through a fair amount of regen. At least he got pulled a little bit. Once he gets the formation again, he should be okay, but this is where Chen has to direct his efforts. However, they do have Observer Wards up there, so they will easily see this coming.
Harassment here onto Costa Beale. They've got the Hellbear Smasher.
Why didn't he?
Getting thrown out of the dagger there. The dagger actually looks like Miracle casted it on the ground. Doesn't matter either way, because with the free pathing, he just crosses the tree line, takes the first blood.
Wow, that was a super greedy play from Mana. He sees the Hellbear running at him, and then he arrows the other.
Another creep. Yeah.
And on top of that, like, not only is that a greedy play, you're also revealing the fact that you don't have lead. So it's.
Next level play. All top. Hey, here we go. It's all about the long comp. They managed to turn around, look for Miracle. Miracle is tangoing up, though, looking to try and fog them. And in fact, he's going to make it. Theolacor can't chase that down on his own. And Bardino and Costa Beale have already been fended off by GH and Kuroki. Theolacor himself in trouble. The Hellbear Smasher ready to give him the clap. The Nyx Assassin just a little bit too quick, will get himself back to safety.
The thing about it is if you trade 1-for-1, let's say Miracle did die there, you're still completely fine with that. Miracle getting first blood as Spectre, that's just not something that you really bank on in the early game. And if it does happen, you're happy about that. And he was low on HP mana anyways, whatever, just come back and harass him even more. And this Mirana is going to have an awful start as a result of the champion.
Mind Control. I mean, Theolacor came across trying to steal that rune upon him, but Mind Control did manage to grab it, and we'll look to trade a few hits into Theolacor, send him back off. Mid lane matchup as it's going so far, very even trade between the two. Adriano 14 for 2, and Mind Control slightly ahead, 14 for 5.
2 points in the X. You don't see that very often. And I think Mind Control to switch it up, but in the off lane / safe lane is usually
More top again, missed stuns here from Theo. needs to make those connections if they want to have a chance at going for anything. They need that setup for the Sacred Arrow to come through from across the field. Otherwise, it is going to be Liquid getting away safely every time from that top lane. CS, though, for Miracle, of course, is certainly slowed down. SG managing to keep good control in that regards and make sure that their Mirana is ahead of the Spectre's farm for now.
Maybe CS-wise. Not gold-wise, though, sadly.
Yeah, sure. First blood.
SG do have that great observer ward. They're watching the 2 supports right now, but they are smoked. Looks like they're trying to kill the Ember before he is level 6.
That will be the dream kill here for Liquid.
He's so far up.
He is incredibly deep, Adriano. Not aware at all of this going on. Is there going to be any chance of him getting out? And indeed, as you say, still without the level 6 quite there. He's going to be surrounded. The other core coming in, maybe seeing if he could throw in a stun to help, but it's too late. Liquid get the kill, got the rotation, absolutely coming in at a perfect time there. Ember is down. Kuro, again, fighting with Theo. Was looking for the rune up top, but ends up spawning bottom. JH able to get his hands on it. Top lane, this does mean Miracle is left on his own. Arrow will connect here from Costabile, and him and Bardina bring him down low, but Miracle always got a stick, and it is just enough to keep him alive. Again, Miracle just playing around with him there on that top lane.
I mean, look how many resources they're throwing at the Spectre too, and he's still not dying. And that's really bad because Brood just does whatever Brood wants on the bottom.
I mean, that's exactly how that lane is going as well, yeah. 35 CS at the moment on Matumba Man. Sailing ahead, the bat being no issue whatsoever as it seems. Of course, there's good farm as well on the bat, but it's not quite on par.
Where's his tower's already down?
I mean, yeah, he's got the CS, but he hasn't managed to protect the lane.
You can try the creep skip war. Like you'll sometimes see that in one-on-one matches where both matchups creep skip. Very common versus Darkseer, but you can't really do that versus a Brood because Brood has extra summons that can tank the tower, and he doesn't even have a capacity, I believe. Yeah, he doesn't have a Basilius on the Brood, but still able to take down that tower very early on. Yep.
This is going to be a very fast Desolator for Matumba Man, no doubts about that. He's already got the money for the first Mithril Hammer. Pretty much done.
You really don't want him to be able to take this tower down early because like the way Brood gets super far ahead is by constellations.
Well, you can get both now, can't you?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to try coming across looking for him. They do have the dust.
Oh, so many spider legs.
Yeah, Theo just can't get close enough for the stun. He'll stun up the little babies, but he won't get the big one. The action itself is actually going to be up on the top lane where Liquid, they will get the successful gank. They move in, close down onto the Bardino Wyvern, take the kill, and Matumba, he's fine. They just can't catch him at this stage of the game. Not with having the lasso yet available on the Batrider, and without being able to close the gap on the Nyx Assassin for an initial stun. There's just no chance of catching this Brood.
Some people think that Brood should not be able to get away with a bootsless build. I think there's pretty much only 2 heroes in the game that can go bootsless. Brood Mother and
Weaver?
Weaver, yeah, Weaver's done. Weaver, I mean, even then you like consider getting treads on the hero. I guess Brood Mother sometimes you'll see face boots, but like he just dodged the gank while slowed by dust. Right.
Oh, Ben. New patch soon. Let's go.
Are you a Brood spammer?
No.
Do you hate Brood?
No, my team does when I random it. Mid lane, mind control. Able to get some good pressure onto this tier 1, and there's not really anyone wants to come to this mid lane now. Mind control's pretty scary. Halfway through level 7. Getting all the farm that he needs. Bottom lane, Adriano's actually hanging out down here. It's a bit of a spooky place for him to be, but with the remnants, one of the only heroes really on the team that can come down here and find something without having to worry of Matumba Man just destroying them straight away. Matumba Man, 7 minutes in, and he is less than 1,000 gold away from having a Desolator. This is going to be probably one of the fastest Desos we've seen on the Broods. I don't think there's any doubt about that at this rate. And there looks to be very little intention from SG to try and stop him at this stage. They sent a couple of heroes down there. It was not a success, and looks like they're opting of not trying it again anytime soon. Top lane, again, trying to keep Miracle back from the farm. But as you say, sure, he might not be getting as the numbers in terms of CS, but with the first blood god, the fact that he's not actually dying in this lane, Liquid, they're having fun all over the map, all 3 lanes.
So AM was banned in the last. Oh no. AM was banned in the last phase, so maybe they're looking for AM substitutes. that don't get counter. I think the heroes that counter AM don't really counter Spectre. For example, like Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker, I think, actually does pretty terribly versus Spectre, because Spectre is just very, very, very tanky, and you can't really man up versus him. Also, the timing of when Spectre gets really strong is a little bit later than anti-mages, so you're not really worried about the game going 50 minutes plus if you have a Spectre on your team, whereas if you have an anti-mage, the longer the game goes past 50, the more likely you are about to lose because you have too much farm. So Spectre just has a different peak and very likely to be buffed next patch, so maybe just some premature exploration.
See if they can get away with this. They're going down here with the smoke. SG sending 4 members down. They really want to try and catch Matuma Man. Adriano on the front lines. We'll see if Matuma reveals himself. The poster now closing the gap. Does dust preemptively, but it's going to be out of range of the spider. And with that already popped, unlikely that they catch him. He's just going to walk past them. The smoke's dispelled. SG find nothing. And Matuma Man, he'll just go back to farming their side of the map. He sees them all pass. He knows that area is now safe, as they've just all walked past him. Mid lane, Mind Control and Kuro having their eyes on Adriano. Mind Control, he does have, the Primal Roar there. Adriano trying to duke it out there with the Remnant back down into the river, but Matuma Man's there as well. Mind Control able to close the gap. They do have Moonlight Shadow. Is there any detection on Liquid? Oh, they want a TI, but they don't have detection. They don't have it, so SG will get Adriano out there. Really nice Moonlight, saving him from imminent death.
Before that, though, the spacing from Matuma Man to like dispel the smoke and still get away safely was very well played. That's kind of exactly what we want in position 1. Is a player that is able to dodge ganks like that. That's probably one of the most important things that you can do as a carry the first 15 minutes of the game.
Cost a bit. He's out of that. I need to mess around with Miracle.
But right now, SG just don't have that many options. Like, Spectre's actually quite tanky with Value Point and Dispersion.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that much HP, but you have to consider that like Chen Heal is going to be there. He has Dispersion, he has Stick, he has he can traverse all terrain. So there's a lot of innate defensive abilities in the Spectre. So who do they actually tank right now? You want to kill either Matuma Man or Broodbug.
You gotta kill,
or Spectre, but they can't kill either right now.
We got 10 minutes in. Matuma Man, he has the Desolator on his way out. There's 200 gold away from the Blink Dagger on Mind Control, but they do have the Blink on the back.
They really need this to work out.
They really need to do something big with that reveal.
But if you don't gank the Spectre, you have the problem of perhaps Miracle being able to turn around and hunt into the fight. So you have 2 global abilities that you do need to worry about if, let's say, you gank Matuma. So, like, one person TP's in, you have the Chen Heal, you have the Haunt there, suddenly what looks like an easy 3-for-1, 4-for-1 smoke, there's suddenly all these factors that you did.
Look at this, just 10 minutes, you get the Deso on the Spider, you go into the pit with the Chen, and SG, I don't think they're going to be expecting it this early on in the game. There should be a freebie here for Liquid.
Liquid is probably one of the best teams in the world at playing keep away, like not fighting when they don't need to fight. They're getting so much fun around the map right now.
Oh, here we go. GH should be in trouble here. He'll try and hold them back with a quick telekinesis, but the Flame Guard burns him down. And SG will get themselves on the board with regards to kills.
Sacrifice Tower and Roche for that. It's rough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
At least you got a kill.
They got
Moral
some
boost, yes.
I mean, in terms of kills, it's been a slow-paced game. It's only 3 to 1, 11 minutes in. Obviously, the net worth is definitely the big story. 6k gold lead at the moment for Liquid, and seems to be showing no signs of stopping.
They actually want to fight right now. You can tell by Spectre's build.
Yeah.
Spectre went for Urn. So this kind of phase in the game is a little bit awkward because you have like Broodmother farming a lot, waiting. She doesn't really need BKB because he has the Aegis, but you're still like much stronger, so kind of want to fight. But so what does Spectre want to do? Spectre could aid the Broodmother in fighting or be in the late game insurance. It looks like he will take the former option. Looks like he's going to build a Manta too next.
I like that. The chains confuse the bat a little bit. It's nice.
Yeah, I don't actually think you care if they jump the Spectre though. I think if they jump the Spectre, they just lose the fight. But he didn't actually go for like a more tanky build too. We'll see what he picks up later.
It's nice as well. I mean, what with the Desolator as well, and those solo heroes on the back lines when you want them. Damage output can be pretty insane for ripping them apart.
Deso doesn't really help him as much as other heroes though. He does a lot of pure damage.
No, I'm talking about the Desolators in this skill.
Oh, Desolate. Okay, I'll take Desolator.
Come on. No.
If he can find them.
Well, let's see if they do anything here with this Moonlight. The lead here is the Posse. Once they find that catch with the bat, but yeah, these wards, Liquid, they know that it's coming. Miracle's still chilling. They did see this one come through. The arrow combo not quite working out, but it doesn't matter. They do end up losing Miracle, but he's going to buy back on Horn in. He's angry. Miracle wants to play Dota 2, and he has managed to help take down one. He'll turn towards Leposa. They will get the bat as well. And that was the come and kill me debate from Miracle, and it seems to prove to be very effective here for the side of Liquid as they've taken down 2, made that 3, double kill for Miracle. He wanted to die all along. He'll come back in and pretty much make back the money that he had to expend. Well, not quite. A little bit of a tax there. He loses 100 net worth, but net exchange in terms of the overall goal. But it really does feel Liquid. They're starting to have a bit of fun. They're playing around.
Their spacing was just a little bit off. When they were positioned around the roast, they wanted to actually pop the smoke. Because they had the observer wall right there, they wouldn't be able to see it immediately back off or haunt it immediately with the backrider. But they were actually just a tiny bit off.
They can get this here. Kuro and GH may have just stepped over a little too far here. GH is on his way home and he will make it. Kuro will make it back in a casket.
What a bro.
They're slowing it down. I do like this as well. You know, they're punishing these sort of, you know, maybe where Liquid's getting a little too comfortable. You saw them come over there. They have got that ward, Liquid, on the high ground, that bottom half of this map, but end up doing them too good there. To my man, Adriana. Do have the telekinesis, and in fact, with the stun, it's going to be close. Does just manage to get himself out. The stick charges at the ready as well. Matuma's got a completed defusal. Oh! Hey, that's not going to save him though if he's been lassoed. They put the lasso into the stun, and with the Firefly, they will manage to pop the Aegis. Killing him a second time, that's going to be a bit of a bigger ordeal. We'll see if they attempt it. They are going to look towards him. Got the slow from the Wyvern, not quite enough. Arrow won't. Oh, Courier. Well, hang on. Someone's starting to feed the Courier there. Will be brought back just in time. Watch out, Liquid. Let's not get too carried away.
Is that why you don't play the micro heroes? Because you just accidentally feed Courier?
I mean, that's what it is, you know, when you spawn, you look back at the fountain, you just, you know, click and drag over everything, and suddenly you're trying to get the Courier to poof and throw nets at people. It doesn't work out.
Please swap me Brood every time you random him.
We've got a GH with the blink. Oh, look at this build on the Ember Spirit. What
yeah, the Solar Crest?
Yeah.
Solar Crest is...
I mean, it's a great item.
Yeah. It solves his armor issue. That's Ember's probably biggest weakness is not having armor. You always have to just build armor, either Veil or Armor Talent or Shiva's later in the game. But he does have a lot of magic on his team, so Veil I think is pretty good. But the evasion, I would say, is much more useful than maybe the amplified magic damage because it does help a lot for Spectre. Spectre does a lot of pure, so you want evasion. So he misses, or you want HP.
Yeah, I like the thought behind it. And, well, helped out a little bit there, throws it down onto Kuro, and they do manage to chop down the Chen.
It's also really good with the Winter Wyvern. You always want a Solar or a Medallion on your team.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. And, yeah, I guess no one else was really going to be looking to farm it up at any sort of reasonable rate on the side of SG, so, yeah, he makes the call. And, yeah, well, we're still waiting to see, really, that first big Winter's Curse. Hasn't really been a chance for it. A lot of sort of scrappy fights, Liquid split up, coming in one by one rather than as a full 5-man. Farm for Miracle. Looks like we've got Radiance just picks up the Yash. Looks for Diffusal Blade next.
This Wyvern's going to need a lot more farm, though. You mentioned he hasn't been able to get any of his Winter's Curse, and I think that's going to continue to be a problem because they're going to haunt, they're going to see him immediately, and then they're going to kill him. Or at least the Spectre is. Yeah. And he's going to be alone because he's going to haunt him, so Curse isn't going to really do anything. Oh, this could be a huge kill.
I was going to say, this is really nice. We've seen the poster do this a couple of times now where he gets the opening onto Matuma Man. Matuma Man has been chained, gets healed up by the hands of God, but it's not enough. That's going to be Matuma Man down. Miracle jumped in with the Horn, but now he's the one to be chained as well. Jump forward from Costa Bill, trying to get the damage through with his boosted attack speed. Remnant in from Adriano. They're actually going to take a second here. SG. They do lose the Wyvern, as expected, as you say. As soon as the Horn comes out, the Wyvern's dead. But SG overall getting 2 cores. Big fight and big pickoffs from the Batrider. Leposa setting up some miracles here for SG.
very greedy
Radiant's
build,
middle
I
tower
would say.
is under attack.
So that's a very nice haunt. It actually tanks the arrow, so he would have been like just super dead way early on in the fight. But they have a nice set of chainstone on him, and Chen's all the way on the top side of the map. Pretty much wouldn't have made that big of a difference in the fight because he would have probably just helped kill his teammates with the curse. So not that big of a deal, but Liquid have to be very careful not to feed away their super high net worth heroes.
Yeah.
They also got like one free death because of the Aegis before, and if they don't get this next Aegis, I could see them potentially being in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, SG really stepping things up. The money's starting to flow in for Adriana as he works towards both the Radiance and the Boots of Travel. The other core already hot in the case for more action.
What's up, man? He usually goes mask pretty early on. The Diffusal Blade, very common pickup versus Ember, very common pickup in general, but especially versus Ember, just purge off his shield so you can actually kill him.
With this down bottom, looks like they may have, they did have eyes on the Beastmaster. We'll back away.
22% passive goal. Nice.
That's strong, man.
Well played.
Very skilled on the game there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And not losing it.
Exactly.
Not dying is hard, Owen.
Radiant's
That's one of the hardest
bottom
parts
tower
about
is
this game.
It is.
So Roche is up.
Vanish.
I would say daytime is much better for them than nighttime. Like nighttime, everyone's about on even
Dire's
foot, but
middle
daytime,
tower
because they
is
usually
under
have the
attack.
Bat Rider out in front, I think they can actually like haunt in or disable
Dire
his blink
are
before he can
scanning.
actually get a jump. But SG know that they need to get the next Roche, because if Liquid get the next Roche, they're going to buy enough time to get BKB, in which the fights will be a lot different than the way we just seen.
Did try there with the Moonlight Shadow to make something happen. They scan as well, but didn't quite catch Liquid. Liquid themselves in the high ground have got the vision on Theodore. Came in for a bit of a scout. A quick jump in from GH. Telekinesis making sure that there's no chance Theo to react. Next assassin is gone, and one man down. Unlikely that SG will look to force anything for at least those 20 seconds. Once they're just a 4-man, they need the full 5-man ready to tackle any sort of potential 5-man. And not where Adriano wanted to Remnant, who jumped into the mid lane. At the back of that, they're gonna lose a few more. Bodino trying to hold them back with the Winter's Curse, but Miracle simply walks around the back lines of it. Lose the Wyvern. Little mistakes like that you cannot afford to pull off in front of Liquid. They will punish them very quickly and incredibly effectively.
They're playing very well around the road. They're not actually taking it or playing inside the pit. They just know that SG can't allow them to take it. So what do? Just sit around the pit with better vision, more sentries, and just jump whomever comes close by. I also think the Solar Crest is much better for like trying to focus down heroes, but they haven't really gotten to that point yet. We haven't really seen the Wyvern affect this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, maybe Spectre is a pretty good pick for the Wyvern though.
Yeah, I mean, Miracle seems to stay on a lovely time. Has got down a couple, but his involvements in the fights have been absolutely top stuff. 4-2-4, 8 of the 10 kills he's been about for, and the farm continues to roll.
Radiant's bottom tower
As well,
is
you've got to
under
remember
attack.
they did start him on that aggressive lane against SG Trilane.
Yeah, that's super unusual in by itself. Normally you only see it with a Lich, but most big Spectre tri-lane.
GH trying to go in here with the Stolen Remnants, fam. Will manage to steal the Vendetta, and with the Roar, they'll turn around and take Theo. Opposite does try for the jumping, get the lasso into the arrow. Have they got the damage to bring him down? No. He's back home safe and sound. It's Takuro. The rest of them trying to escape. Opposite is not getting away from this spooky, scary spider. Matuma Man with the Diffusal Blade. In fact, he may not be done.
Again, look at the...
Wants to go for more. See here. Ardino slowed as well, trapped with the spiders. Double kill for Matuma.
Again, look at what they're doing. It's just playing around the Roche with superior vision and just letting, you know, someone sacrifice. It was supposed to be Ruben who sacrificed, but GH kind of outplayed his way out of that. Then SG, they're going to have to deal with Aegis Chief on Matuma Man, who already does a ton of damage. He built a fairly glass cannon build with the mask and Dezo and Diffusion. No more defensive at all.
I mean, the Aegis, not only that, but being more than halfway, well, yeah, more than halfway towards the BKB. That's a lot of scary items to have on a Spider. SG, question is if they were ready to deal with it. They do have lockdown through the BKB, but again, it's really sort of the damage that's the issue. And also the constant threat of Kuro being able to send people back to safety.
They need the Radiance like really, really soon, because this Aegis could do a lot of structural damage, but he's still about 2,000-3,000.
So what they get away with it. Cole, cost of it goes in, jumps out, mind control, actually cancelled his TP here. And for that, he's going to be caught out. They'll come into the trees, and they will catch him. Did pop the bots, but immediately decided to stick around in the neighborhood, and it does cost him his life. SG pick up the kill. They drop a scan just to make sure there wasn't any other members of Liquid in the neighborhood, but it was a total freebie. Liquid themselves were putting some pressure on mid. They're nowhere near Mind Control's Beastmaster.
Wonder what made him cancel his TP. He pressed him to do so. I didn't actually see where he was TPing to. I just
I didn't know. I didn't see where he was TPing to. GH get the catch on to Adriana. Quick sided change to dodge the initial stun from Kuro's creeps, and Adriana gets himself out. Dealer as well, starting to get out of there with the Moonlight Shadow. He will survive. Can SG re-engage on this? This would be ideal for the side if they can. They'll look towards Kuro. The arrow doesn't hit Chen, but it hits the bigger target. Gets Matumba Man. Theo with the follow-up. Have they got the damage? Well, with 5 heroes here, they sure have. They'll take him down once. Mind Control's come in. And with the Horn from Miracle, things this could potentially start to get scary here for SG. They're on the retreat, trying to get out of this one. The poster's going to be the first to fall. Chains hold back the Spider, but SG they're being slowed up incredibly by this dagger in search for Miracle. They'll look to Remnant out, up to the safety of the high ground. Is he actually going to be that safe at all, though? Miracle's just diving, chasing them past the tier 3, picks up the double as he takes down Bardino. Will give a little bit of mercy to Adriano and Costabile as they'll get back to base. But again, as we saw, so hard for SG, even in a position there where in most games that would have been a great time to go back in. But when there's a Spectre in the game, things get a little bit different.
Yeah, the curse had to be blown very, very early on. He actually just used it on a Haunt illusion just to buy himself some more time. However, that thing's not very tanky, so the curse isn't actually going to last that long. Still, Matumba Man does need his BKB. They're not able to really get what they want to out of this fight simply because he dies going in. Very easy to lock him down, prevent him from attacking, prevent him from lifestealing. But once he does get BKB, he's still going to have to worry about the Monster's Curse. At least Braun is getting there too. One for Maelstrom, usually you see Diffusal, but versus this massive amount of summons, I think you want more AoE, either the Scepter build or the Maelstrom build.
Yeah, interesting. I was actually looking back at actually the way the Cosmo, I don't think he actually builds Diffusal that much. He normally sort of opts for the Manta, Maelstrom, Lincolns, Dragon Lance. Yeah. Here we go, Miracle. Will be a dream catch for SG. I'm going to position around this top tier 1.
They might catch.
Oh, there's a double damage rune on the Spectre. Not something that they would really want to mess around with.
This is a really good time.
Radiant structures are
Spectre's Haunt is down. There's no Aegis on the Broodmother. This is a really good time to win. However, the BKB is up on.
Radiant's top tower
He is.
See that now?
An incredible threat.
But they also notice that he doesn't have a TP scroll, so they know that they still have a decent amount of time to push. If they would like, or take a fight on this side of the map because they know that main game isn't actually going to be there.
We'll see how much they can do with that information. We do nearly have the Radiance on.
Radiant's top tower is under
has the relic. I believe it's just a few hundred gold away from the recipe. And just a couple of hundred gold, and the Radiance will be done for the Ember Spirit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ready to go once again down bottom. Maybe even threaten the high ground. And Bardino, he heads forward. And he's quickly sent backward there. Liquid jump on him immediately, and now they're ready to try and break the base. They did pop Haunt for that, nonetheless, but it brings Miracle into a position where he's able to help with the siege onto the high ground. Jump forward from Laposa, gets the lasso, but a quick telekinesis from GH holds him in place. But Tumberman's going to be fine. The bat is not. Laposa down. SG lose 2. Now Matumba, he's ready to dive in deep. Pops the BKB, doesn't give a damn about the Spike Carapace. The arrow will hold back Miracle. The buybacks do come out from SG, but they've already lost the tier 3. This huge onslaught of animals being sent down this bottom lane, clean up the melee racks. As SG, despite the buybacks, are unable to keep their base intact on the bottom.
Yeah, things just fell apart.
18k gold lead, 19k in
Dyer's
fact now
bottom
for
shrine is
Team
under
Liquid.
attack.
It's looking incredibly rough for SG. They had some nice little plays this game, but overall it really has been Liquid just putting on a clinic, showing us the Liquid we've come to see before TI, at TI, and after TI.
Their tower hitters are also really terrible on the side of SG. They have to 5-man a lot because they're hot, but they're going to lose out on a lot of farm and split pushing and pushing out lanes as a result.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, he's really fat. He also went
absolutely is.
probably one of the greatest builds he could possibly go on Brood.
I mean, he really went Deso, Diffusal.
And then Mask. And then
yeah.
BK.
And then he goes. And he's got level 2 Diffusal Blade as well. They're in the neighborhood. I mean,
Radiant are
Matumba,
scanning.
he could put that BKB and kill. And he's pretty
No
much.
need to take that risk without Haunt, though.
Sure. Probably what he meant. I mean, what the deal's looking pretty tasty. Go on. He wants to do it. He's just going to go in, opens up. There's a shrine. It doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Bardino will live. Matuma Man gave him the walk away. They're not committing for the final touch. And on that, well, funny kill. Not a lot was committed, though, of course, by Liquid. So not really too much of an issue for them. Not finding the quick and easy kills that Matuma Man was hoping for.
Good restraint, though.
Dyer's top shrine is under attack.
The vision down.
Yeah, they just need to take it easy and slow, fight with their PKBs up, fight with their ultimates are up, or just fight with their ultimates. So this shrine's dead, and SG are really hard pressed to do anything right now. I guess they do have the
Dyer's
Radiance
top
up
shrine
on
has
the
fallen.
Ember. but
Dyer's
about
bottom
it.
shrine is under attack.
Do with their resources, but here's the jump in already. Immediately everything thrown onto the Wyvern. That'll be Bardino down. Leposa trying to get away. Miracle on the chase. Leposa trying to get up on the high ground to escape this, but does get the lasso off. Doesn't matter though. Too much damage being kicked out from the Spectre. They do turn, get the arrow connection. Hand of God comes through. It's enough to keep Miracle alive. SG does not find the trades. Willicore himself does get the stun, but he has to run. That's all he can do. There's no hiding from this man. Mind Control will chase him. He's had the spike carapace. Mid lane though, Matumba does decide to feed away his life. He's down for 80 seconds. I mean, that is a huge kill for SG. Question whether it mattered in the grand scheme of things, but it's a big kill nonetheless. It was split.
Split. Perfect.
Dyer's
That's
bottom
good.
shrine has
Money for both
fallen.
of the course, but
They just need better high ground. Like this Wyvern just dies immediately at the start of the fight. This is why I say he just needs more items. Ideally, I would say a Glimmer Cape because Spectres just generally don't have enough items left, which he does. And Glimmer Cape plus pretty nice for him.
but he has got the defusal.
Yep.
If he's quick with that. Oh, top the raw. Jonah, does he want to chase? Does he want to play? Can he? That's the question. Doesn't look like he can. Mind Control's already out. Fool me on it. Complete for the Mirana. On top. Control and GH. Have to be a bit careful as Leposa is ready to hunt.
There's so many summons though to worry about that are just keeping their eyes on him. Beastmaster Hogs, Boars, Shen Kriegs, Broodlings.
But on the other half, man, that's more money on the map for SG. There are positives.
A bit. Ever the optimist.
Back to base they go. SG very much waiting for Liquid to make the move, to make the misstep. They can punish GH.
Yes.
600 gold away from a completed Aghanim Scepter.
Kuro plays this way more defensive chance. Notice he's had like a lot of key setbacks too. SG would probably be, what, 13, 14 kills right now if it weren't for some of the setbacks. So he's sacrificing his net worth to boost up his others.
Here we go. The wraparounds there from Liquid. They've got a good angle. GH jumping in with the telekinesis to set up into the stolen stun. Costa Bill held in place. Winter's Curse trying to buy him time, but Miracle pops the BKB. Jumps forward with the horn. They've found the Mirana. They're looking for more once again. Bardino in trouble. Does cold embrace himself. It doesn't matter though. The damage still cuts him out from the Desolate. And Leposa, he is none the luckier as a third member dropped once again on SG. unable to scratch Liquid's lineup at all. 21k gold lead. The slaughter just continuing.
Just way too much vision in the fights. Night Stalker is generally the kind of so we can initiate a fight, but this there's just so many more things to deal with than a simple Dark Force. Including the Haunt and all this. There's just no, like I would actually say that the Bat Rider played a pretty good mid game. He got a lot of key jumps.
He did, get some good jumps on the Timberman,
yeah,
that's for sure.
But then after that, it's Liquid just take a breath, relax a little bit, spread out their summons, and play properly, then it should just end up in a really swift and easy.
No surprises there at all, as GG is called. Liquid will take down SG in this best of one, and pretty much in the expected fashion as well. This was the Liquid that we've come to know oh so well, giving us this just perfect performance of Dota. They know the lanes, they know the game. Kuro
Dire team ban.
Have a bad game and Liquid will still destroy the other two cores do well. Whereas other teams that have like one superstar that has to do well, if that guy gets shut down, they generally lose. So that kind of team's just really strong right now.
Okay, good timing. We're about to head into the draft for game number 3 of the first day here at ESL 1 Hamburg. And I guess, Alan, with this, we're going to see whether Synderen's ban predictions are right as well.
Okay, so I would presume, gosh, I'd presume that Liquid is on the left here.
Liquid banned Wisp?
No, okay,
No,
maybe not. No,
SG are on the left.
SG are on the left.
Liquid banned
okay.
Shaker. So.
I am all right. I am a little bit surprised that SG would use one of the 2 opening bans of the Veno. That is not necessarily a hero that I prioritize taking away from Liquid, although Matumba and Mind Control play that very well.
Yeah.
I think when your first pick is SG, there's 2 approaches to this game that I like. One is you take out the Chen and try to play against something else. The other one is if you leave Chen in, you take out the flex pick that you would put with that Chen in the first phase. I think Chen Venomancer is a really strong opening because Veno can go to all 3 lanes and it complements Chen well because they have the same objective in the game, which is to group up as 5 and push towers.
Dire seconds remaining.
Choosing to take out the Veno
5 seconds remaining.
Anything else? Puck, AA, obviously a
Dire
couple in
team
there.
ban.
I mean, all the traditional ones, of course, but I hope we don't get to see something like a Venomancer or anything like that.
I actually want to
Hope
see
we
this
don't.
scene open.
I hope we don't. Immediately ban it. Get it out of the way.
Will is just anti-green at this point. I just
I
want to
love
point that
green.
out. He hates
Go
green,
green,
heroes. Hates green.
You just want to
heroes.
call everybody a hater, don't you, Paul?
Well, you're an EG.
Are you
hater.
gonna
He's
make a
green
little label
hero
for him?
hater? Yeah, and I'm gonna make
Who's
one
the
for him
EG
as well.
hater?
Eh?
I am
Alan is-
apparently,
Alan's
after
he's
being
on side.
accused of being a Sumail fanboy for years now, I am apparently an EG hater because Paul says so.
I'm just trying to balance it out for you, buddy.
No, I'm
just trying
good.
to, give you some haters as well as lovers.
5 seconds
Into
remaining.
the draft we go then.
Two very good bans. I think taking away Lich is always a good thing, and I'm presuming that this is Keen that are taking the Enchantress off the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think actually
Very
Solo
good.
used to
CIS.
play. Solo used to play a second Enchantress. Most recently, it's been Lil for this team. But again, the early and
Some,
yeah,
some good respect here from
Yes.
Kane. They've done the homework. That's good.
yeah, you have to take that early pressure off the table, and then you pick an early pressure hero for yourself in the Night Stalker. I love it.
All right, so VP,
Very good.
second pick.
Virtus Pro's
can take, like,
turn to pick.
Veno Earth.
Mhm.
And when I say Veno Earth, you can take either of the Shakers. or
Okay,
Spirit.
Will,
What's up?
where are you on Bane right now? I just don't like Bane, and
Really?
there are so many teams that think it's good, and there's so many
Well,
people that I respect that think
There
it's
are-
good.
There are three
remaining.
teams that are picking it a lot. Fnatic are one of
Dire
them. Secret
team
are another one that are picking it a lot.
Well, EG's picked it.
And
EG
has
ran
been
it.
picked
Yeah,
up
I
as
mean,
well. So it's not. It doesn't seem widely, but there are some teams who seem to favour it.
I like Bane a lot.
Is it style?
okay.
There was me and Cap were to prepare ourselves for TI. We said like, what are two heroes that you think that nobody really
10
plays
seconds
that you think will be
remaining.
good? And my suggestions were Bane
5
and
seconds
Slardar.
remaining.
Okay.
And Slardar I was completely wrong on. But- and Bane I thought going into TI because it was never picked. I was like, I was 0 for 2. But all of a sudden this hero started having a resurgence, and it's because the lack of 5 heroes
Okay.
as a whole. If you think about it, how many 5 heroes have you seen in the past like 2-3 tournaments? We've seen Bane, AA,
Virtus Pro's
like
turn to bat.
Silencer, Jakiro,
Yep.
just like
Yeah.
5 position heroes, and it's because most 5 position heroes are garbage now. Think about a Crystal Maiden. Who is a Crystal Maiden gonna fight? You can't bully anybody out of the lane. You're so slow. Your
Well-
ultimate's pretty garbage.
Well,
What's up?
Jakiro's not
10
garbage.
seconds
Jakiro
remaining.
is pretty good. That's
Yeah,
he was one of
Jakiro
the
is
like
good.
4 that I listed.
Okay.
But the others are like
5
they're
seconds
horrible.
remaining.
And so I was asking a lot of the pros, like, why don't you guys pick 5s anymore? And they're like, because there's a limited selection. And if you pick like a 5 position Pugna or 5 position Earthshaker, they'll still accomplish the same things.
Yeah. But I also think that's what you're seeing. Like, so many top teams have gone to dual support opens now. If you look at, I think there were 7 different
Dire
heroes. If
team
you look
ban.
at PGL and Starlighter, there were 7 different heroes that were banned 21 more times in the first phase, and 6 of the 7 are almost dedicated 5 supports. Like it's that role is being so focused on because of the paucity of alternatives.
So what do you make of the opening 2 picks on both sides so
10
far? I mean,
seconds
pretty standard,
remaining.
but the Mirana is quite early.
The Marana is quite early, but I know a lot of the
5
Chinese teams like it a
seconds
lot. We saw
remaining.
LGD most recently use it.
Yeah.
Like that Mask of Madness build
Yes.
that we saw maybe use a lot. I think pretty effective
Virtus
overall, but
Pro's turn to
it
ban.
is a little bit of a surprise that Virtus Pro first to open Nature's Prophet Bane. Like Nature's Prophet and
Are you
They
really
just don't.
surprised?
They just don't seem to go together though.
it's more the interaction between Nature's Prophet versus Night Stalker. Like I don't know which favors what, because like of
10
course you have the flying
seconds
vision
remaining.
and you can play the scout game against NP. But at the same time, if Night
5 seconds
Stalker runs around the
remaining.
map, then Nature's Prophet just has a free lane against most heroes.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, I actually think this is pretty even through the first 4 picks, especially because Virtus Pro is so comfortable getting value out of lane bulliers like the Bane. I mean, I can see Solo run around on Bane just again
don't-
just
you don't
making the
think-
enemy mid's life miserable.
You don't think Lil will take the bait?
I hope not. I
10
actually
seconds
I have a soft spot for Lil. Like I actually like to see Lil on high skill cap heroes. I think
5
he's
seconds
technical
remaining.
skill wise. I think he's as good a 4 as there is out there.
Virtus Pro's
Okay, so the
turn to
MP
pick.
is what? No one's.
No. The NP's. I hope the NP's Pasha.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's an open hero nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it is in no one's pool.
nowadays in drafting, it's
10
been,
seconds remaining.
unless they're like heroes that you really, really favor, or like
5
these really
seconds
obvious,
remaining.
or these more obvious 5 picks, then you usually take these heroes that are really open and don't reveal anything.
Multi-lane heroes.
Exactly. That's why Puck has seen such a high tier in a lot of these regions.
And Nyx has seen a lot of first 2 picks as well.
Yeah,
Similar reason, right?
It can go off lane or play the 4 or the 5.
No, the way Synderen put it in our last panel segment, which I thought was completely on point, was that if you playing for a top team right now, you are pretty much, you're not expected to play every hero, but you are as a core expected to be able to play, at least with a little practice, every lane. That you should be able to play all 3 lanes.
But so far, I mean, this draft pretty unexpected from both sides. Like the Night Stalker opener, of course, is really stable.
Wow. Okay, so you may have been right. This may be a little Bane and a solo BH. Damn.
You don't think it's the other way around?
I'm trying to
10
remember.
seconds remaining.
I'm trying to remember what we've done in the past.
5 seconds remaining. Virtus
In a way, it doesn't.
turn to
In a way, it matters a lot less with these particular 2 heroes than it would with a lot of combinations they pick. Now, Keen, this is very, very standard for them, and the Jakiro gained popularity in the Chinese scene as a pushing support that doesn't require much farm, but still, I think Jakiro scales better with farm than most people believe, which is why teams like EG think that they can run him offline.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the interesting thing with the Jakiro, obviously it's very in the meta right now, mostly as a 5, but we've seen it as an off and a mid for that matter as well. But it's not in the circle of picks for Keen recently.
You gotta adapt.
So I mean, that's what we said, right? Right up front, they've been a very meta-based drafting team so far.
Well, we say that, but they've also been a really flexible team.
Yeah,
and
no, I'm backing up the theory.
Oh, okay.
Jakiro is very much in the meta.
Fair enough.
They're a meta-based team. Although they haven't been picking him recently, it makes perfect sense that they would move that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's a huge benefit, Paul, when you don't have to play tournament after tournament.
Yeah.
We talked about how in the EG series, would they be able to expand their hero pool or change things up, and they weren't able to.
It's impossible in
Exactly.
what, 2 days, whatever it was, since they've flown back from Bucharest.
But Keen, maybe they didn't play the Jakiro before.
Sure.
They saw it picked continuously, and they're like, guys, maybe there is something to this. And now you have time to practice it and see if it works for your own style. And that is the benefit of not going to all of these tournaments, is you get to kind of take the best, see what works, see what's just meta, if people are overrating certain things, if they're underrating certain things.
It's in a lot of DP today.
I guess the
10
one
seconds
concern
remaining.
that I would have as Keen right now is Jakiro going to be able to protect your
5
mid?
seconds
Because
remaining.
VP right now, like, they like to pressure the enemy mid anyway,
Yep.
and they have the combination of Bounty Hunter and Bane are just 2 supports that can both either individually or as a duo make the enemy mid's life just hell.
Yep.
And Nature's Prophet is fairly self-sufficient. They can 5th pick a fairly self-sufficient core. Keen has to watch the roam from VP.
At the same time, I think Mirana is one of the better heroes at dealing with stuff like that, because it's really hard to kill her. And even if you harass, yeah, it's annoying for any mid hero, but it's the kill potential that really gets to you. And as a Mirana player, you always have Leap in your back pocket, and no DP is going to like level Silence at level 3 or something, unless they see a guaranteed kill opportunity.
I don't know. I think there are certain mid heroes, and I worry sometimes that Mirana is one that you don't necessarily have to kill him a bunch of times, as long as maybe you kill him once and you just deny him their farm. You can, it's hard to kill the Mirana, you can zone her out though.
By the way, I really like the interaction between picking DP and Bounty Hunter together. I feel like the thing that DP hates is getting kited, and when you just track and you get to just straight up chase, you have that added move speed to play around the kite a little bit. It really helps heroes like Death Prophet, because right now what I felt like VP lacked was team fight, and so you need this 4th pick hero that will be able to shore up that difference, and you need heroes that'll benefit from that track speed. And here's like Bane, Nature's Prophet, Death Prophet. Yeah, they don't have the best catch or anything like that, but when you all run at 400 plus move speed, it's not as necessary.
That's actually a really good point about the Bounty. Not necessarily a hero that has intrinsic team fight himself, but if you pick him with certain combinations, heroes that benefit from that move speed boost, like the DP with Exorcism up, he can actually be a teamfight enabler.
It's similar. Bounty Hunter and Nature's Prophet, the downside of them is they do win you lanes, but
10 seconds
they don't really
remaining.
help your team fight. Because if you think about it, Bounty Hunter is just this really annoying guy who throws out
5
track,
seconds remaining.
and his team fight contribution is to throw out track and like cross his fingers and hope you win that fight. He's like, guys, I hope this is enough.
We'll get a lot of gold if we win.
It's like, it's the ultimate gamble. You're hoping for it.
So the puck for Keen. They do have a couple of puck players in here as well. Ying and Dark can play this
Dire team
and have
back.
done. So they can use it in
and it's
a couple of positions.
It's still open too.
Yep,
I mean,
it is,
ordinarily
'cause
by
it could
this
be-
point in the draft, you say puck has been countered or
Yeah,
not.
but you could switch it around.
Yeah.
In here.
You could still run Mirana safe lane,
Yeah.
Yes.
Fakiro off puck mid. There's a,
You like Miranda safe?
it's okay. I'm just saying the
10
option is
seconds
available for
Yeah,
you.
but they have a main Mirana player, which is ZZZ, and he does predominantly
seconds.
play.
Yeah,
so
that's the one.
it'd be unusual if they'd suddenly change this around. But they do, as I said, Ying and Doug both play the puck.
Yeah, just for the fans at home, there are two of the Keen players
Dire
do
team
go by
back.
Chinese names.
They do.
Ying is the way that we asked the team. Ying is the way that we're pronouncing their mid player's name, and Ming Chen is what we're going to call the 4-position player.
Apparently Ying's name means fluorescent.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
heard
he
that.
should just be
Yeah.
called
10
fluorescent.
seconds.
think that's a
I
much
wanted
better
to go
game
with
name.
that too, but we had someone ask the team.
5 seconds.
so
Always,
Finn
always
picks
difficult for us
on board.
non-Mandarin speakers, I have to say.
I like the ban of the Ramses Sven here. And okay, this is yeah.
Now things have heated up.
I actually kind of I like Monkey King as a 5th pick for Keen. The only thing that I'll criticize about it is that VP can pick something ranged here.
10
So you're not going to get
seconds
that coveted Monkey King versus melee core matchup.
5 seconds
But he's still
remaining.
a half decent
This
laner.
is-
Although
look at this
no,
draft.
you know
though,
what? I'm
right?
going to go back that.
All
No, I don't.
5 can be moved around here in this game.
No.
Team, all 5.
Monkey King though with that 0 base armor, super vulnerable to getting roamed on.
So what do you take here? You take like Bloodseeker or something like Faceless Void for more team fight?
Choose
Oh,
your
alright.
hero.
You take a Bloodseeker.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Yep.
Thanks, Will.
Did they take it before?
And this is
They took it as you said it.
Is this the one question for you? Well, is this the one melee core that Monkey King doesn't crap all over in lane?
It's the hardest, isn't it?
I think Monkey King beats
Monkey King,
Bloodseeker.
I think he beats him, but I don't think it's like half as bad as
It's
some
like,
of the other
it's pretty
melee
rough,
versus
but
MK.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't really like seeing Monkey King off lane. I
Okay.
hope they don't do that.
Well, we're going to find out. Final thoughts before we head over to our commentators from both of you in terms of the draft and what you've made of it so far.
I think Virtus Pro
Will hates
probably
going
wins
first,
this.
by the way, Alan.
I do,
10
why I did it.
seconds remaining.
because I just like to pick. Alright, I won't reveal my secret.
You like to pick against your co-fan.
Yeah,
Because I think
for
it's
fun.
All right,
I like
all
the
right.
argument.
All right.
You can go first.
I'm gonna go.
Go
VP.
for it, Alan. Give me your best reason why your team wins.
I'm gonna go VP. I think that they've picked the kind of lineup that they're very comfortable playing. I think they have the early roaming advantage, and I think that Keen, even though they're gonna have a hard time killing the Mirana or Puck, I think they're gonna shut down the Monkey King, limit the farm of the other 2 cores. VP wins.
Okay, Alan goes with Go CIS. Will,
I agree with everything Alan says. I feel like the Bloodseeker pick complements their draft very well, and that's why I'm going with Keen.
Contrarian investing is what we call this.
and Go China, says Will. So we're all evenly balanced. You wouldn't expect anything less from an expert panel, would you? Time to head over to our commentary team now for game number 4 of day number 1. Can Keen come up trumps yet again? Let's find out as they go head-to-head with Virtus Pro.
Thank you very much, Paul. And indeed, here we have it, the final game of day 1 at ESL Hamburg. I'm Odie Pixel. I'll be joined once again by the fabulous Ben Malini-Wu as we get into this last game of the day. Virtus Pro versus Keen Gaming. Ben, we've seen the drafts. I'm excited for this one. Keen Gaming, a side that we don't really know much about. I'll be honest myself, I've never got the pleasure of casting one of their games. I'm excited to see what they can do against VP, but there's no doubt about it, sort of as the panel said, VP have an incredibly frightening lineup to play against.
The Bloodseeker versus Monkey King is one that we actually usually don't see too much. Usually Monkey King just dumps her Bloodseeker in lane, and he has so much burst that you're actually kind of scared of Blood Raging yourself. But we'll see how Dark plays this one out.
I mean, because indeed it is Dark, obviously, as you're insinuating, playing the Monkey King on the off, which is something that, well, Blitz said he was a little scared of the offlane Monkey King. So you said obviously that sort of matchup's nice, but
melee versus melee, he owns. It's like Ursa, except I think Monkey King beats Ursa too. So it's just because he's not really a melee hero.
Oh, he's not, is he? But they like to categorize him as that because that's how balance works in the world of Dota 2, ladies and gentlemen. Do not question the frog. We will go for what we will do is for you, ladies and gentlemen at home following, we'll go for the lineup of King Gaming so you know what we're looking out for, because some of the names, of course, are using the Chinese characters. And don't worry, I'll translate for you. So on the off lane, of course, Dark, nice and easy.
He was a courier. He messed up.
Oh dear, come on, Dark, step up your Monkey King
watching.
game. So he'll be playing the offlane Monkey King. As we move over to the rest, we have the mid laner, which is pronounced, I do apologize for my pronunciation, but it should be pronounced something like Ing. So we'll go with Ing. Ing is on the mid lane puck. Over here, we have Tian Ming. I don't know how good that is, Ben. Tian Ming. Tian Ming. We'll call him T-God. T-God on the Night Stalker. Have we got any other T-Gods at the moment in Dota? There's not many T-Gods, is there? No. No, that could be a spot that he could step into. It depends how he plays, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. T-God's on the Night Stalker. And then last but not least, we've got the last couple up here. G. We will go with the pronunciation. It's spelled Z-H-I, I'm imagining. Would you pronounce that G?
I think it's closer.
We'll go with triple Z. And of course, also up there was Wrong on the Night Stalker. But the battle indeed does begin. Ing in trouble. He's taking a lot of right click here from Solo. Has to phase shift, but now King Gaming. Tianming ready for the chase down. And we could see a bit of the old do-si-do here. We'll see how long
forever.
It is. He's got the Void to pop, but at the moment he's just giving him the rundown and the slap back.
Bane's too fast, man.
Well, we got 310 movement speed on Solo, and oh yes, he's got 340. He's got the boots on the Night Stalker.
Yeah, but it's a Bane. Bane is ridiculously tanky. I think he has the most stats in the game.
The most stats in
Combined
the game?
Stats, he has like 69. 23 times 3, yeah. He has 69. I think he has like the highest stats combination in the game.
Oh. There we have it. And of course, the lineup of VP, you guys know them. You don't need any introduction to these boys. It's the good old, same old Virtus Pro lineup that we know and love. Lil on his Bounty Hunter, Sol on the Bane, no one on the mid lane. Ramsey's playing the Bloodseeker. And last but not least, Asher on the Nature's Pop in mid lane. Bringing Ing very low on the puck. He's got the back of Tianming to force back there. Bottom lane, Dark, having to deal with this lane. As you were saying to me, Ben, Monkey King on paper, pretty nice against the Bloodseeker. Having the Bane here as well, how hard does this make this for the Monkey King off lane? Or do you think Dark could still do okay down?
I think it's fine. Yeah. What is it really to worry about? I think you can trade his with a Bane too, because you're not a true melee, and you have a lot of innate regeneration. You get Jingu stacks. And if you don't get Jingu stacks, that means that Ramsey's not coming up to creeps. So it's a win-win. So it looks like Lil is looking for a chicken snipe.
Oh, I like that as well. Little bit of a move into the tree line there as the tree. Make sure he can get Solo nice and close. He's going to get it built up. It's nice. Thanks for that, Solo. But yeah, as you say, so far so good here for the offlane Monkey King Dark.
Monkey King is one of those heroes that's just really good in like one-on-one and one-on-two situations too. Especially if you can't kill him with just these two. He's just one of the best at trading harass. Yeah. No support can take him one-on-one.
No, like that. I think did pop the boundless there to secure the big creep from the side pull that was being made as well. Nice play there from Dark. Mid lane Ing on the puck. How's he doing? 7-1 against no one's 11 for free. So certainly proving to be a tough lane there on the middle. Now down bottom. The rotation's coming from Tianming. Closing down onto Solo. It's going to be your first blood. Boundless strike. Comes out a little too late. Doesn't matter. Wrong.
He's like, whoa, I do that much damage?
There we go. First blood for King Gaming. The rotations in reaction to the movements from VP coming out on top mid lane. That Curry's in trouble. Oh, they know. They're smart. They're keeping it safe for now. King Gaming are aware that something's going on. Oh, they really want this VP. Pasha's thinking about coming in as well.
It just has to stay alive for 10 more seconds.
Yeah, nice.
And then they could just boost it back.
Nice awareness from King.
They've a lot of resources at this. Bounty Hunter's been in the area for a while. They dropped him Observer Ward, but I suppose Keen has too. takes one person's micro. Night Stalker's kind of babysitting it, and now they'll draw along the tree line. So they are, I would say, experienced. A lot of teams kind of fall apart. I don't remember who was talking about it. Maybe it was...
Look at this. Nice little play there from Wrong. Takes the Nightmare off to make sure that Dark can go to work on Solo. Solo keeps himself alive. Oh, actually, that's a Blood Rage Monkey King. You got to get yourself away from that boy. They will kill him. So that's fine. The Blood Rage Monkey is down. Wrong in trouble as Pasha with the rotation looking to turn things onto Takiro. Solo falls low, does go down, but Wrong loses his life as well. Lose a couple.
Nice
Yan
play
Ming
from Pasha.
get out. Looks like he get, in fact, Yan Ming, does he want to go back in with Dark? That's the question.
You're still giving the Mirana free farm, though. At least they did kill the Monkey King, stop him getting out of control. But.
Yeah, they got the core kills. But.
Yeah, but it's an offline Monkey King. He can actually do a lot of damage without that much farm. As long as he gets his levels, I would say he's in a pretty good position.
I mean, this mid lane matchup, as we can see, no one is having a great time. 19 for 9 against the 14 for 5. Is this expected that the Death Prophet comes out on top?
Well, there's a bounty. Yeah, so take that. Take the normal matchup with a grain of salt. There's only a few things you can't face, like several things pierce phase shift, static link, and spirit siphon.
The Sprout here, Dark will be blood righted. Lil with the rotation finds the touch. Dark has no escape. He goes down. Wrong will be able to keep himself back and safe.
Yeah, VP have switched up. You don't really want the Bane down here. You want a kill lane on him because you just want to bring him from 100 to 0. Like the slow chip does not work against a Monkey King. But yeah, he's look at the CS, or especially relative to MPs. You have 36 on the Mirana versus 10 on Pasha.
I don't think he's missed a last hit here at the moment.
Yeah, that's actually really
some clean stuff there from this safe lane Mirana.
Surprised Monkey King didn't get a Quelling Blade.
Did not indeed. Sort of a build comes out from him this game as well.
What's the Mango for? It's a weird one.
It is, to be fair, especially with the skill build, of course. Yeah, I mean, having the Boundless Strike. I mean, Soaring Monkey?
Well,
I mean,
that's the only thing Mango builds into, so.
You're sure.
But he didn't
it might be
start
a
off
casual Mango, you never know. But
yeah.
Soaring, it doesn't sound that bad. I mean, Soaring, it's been picked up more and more on cores nowadays, isn't it?
Yep. It's also weird because he didn't start off with it. He like just picked it up, and he's also not versus mana burn. I think if you reverse like AM or something like that, where you'll get mana burn, you need mana later on. Then it's fine.
Trying to see if Wrong can sort of get in distance to follow up with anything, but couldn't quite slow down Ramses enough on the Bloodseeker.
Under attack.
Lil is just all up in mid, trying to find his career.
He is again. Is he gonna have a chance of finding it this time?
No,
Whereabouts?
it's
Back at base.
But he plays another Observer Ward in between the T1 or T1 and the T2 just to get that extra little chicken nab.
Oh, look at this. So,
the prize is mine.
His third game in professional play on Bounty. I mean, at the moment we saw him with the 2 movements down bottom. He was getting the job done. Did manage to kick off 2 kills.
Oh, I see chicken flying out.
Oh, but he's given up at the same time.
He's actually sat so long.
Oh yeah, he sort of has to cut his losses. Bottom lane, Ramses does get slowed down. They get the Ice Path into the Boundless Strike. They surround Ramses. Mid lane, no action as well, as they're looking for Ing on the puck. Ramses to fall Ing as well. Drops the Dream Coil, but it's more of a nightmare for the puck as the gank successful from VP. Bottom lane, though, is the trade that Keen are looking for. They may have lost the puck, but they absolutely shut down that bottom lane.
Yeah, you think Bane is a big badass support, but when you're up against a Monkey King and Night Stalker, he feels like a swarm you.
Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun for Solo at all.
Yeah.
A lot of control and a lot of, certainly playing against this Jakiro as well.
Dire's
Very
middle
few
tower
ways that
is
Nightmare's
under
ever going to be able to save you. Just so many ways that Keen Gaming can use a defensive Nightmare against the side of VP. 4-4 at the moment. Keen Gaming with a strong showing out of the laning stage against Virtus.pro.
Yeah, VP aren't really able to like swiftly take towers. Generally, what you want to do with the Nature's Prophet and Death Prophet lineup is just take towers down very, very early on. Just kind of swarm one lane. They swarmed bottom, but Keen also responded with tons of heroes down bottom, so they weren't able to transition that into a smooth push. And now, this Mirana has enough farm, 52 CS in 7 minutes.
I mean, the CS is absolutely juicy this game. Both No One and GGG just blowing us away. 52 at pre-8 minutes. Very, very good for these 2 cores.
But it looks like they are going to run into the Bounty Hunter. They aren't smoked too, so it looks like they're just going to get scouted out. There is dust on Night Stalker, but I doubt that Lil will reveal himself.
Let's have another short pause here from me, and it was indeed a short. We're straight back into the action. No delays today. Top.
Ooh.
I do actually have the dust ready for Lil.
I didn't actually see how they saw him because they weren't smoked. They had used scan on the shrine earlier, so I don't know. Maybe just a good heads up play by them.
Bottom lane, Dark. It's gone. Sprouted up, no escape for the Monkey King. Wrong. Looking to TP himself out and will make it. Cancel in time. It's away.
They were very good about mitigating their death toll. I think that's one of the biggest problems of some teams is just helping out your teammate. Someone calls it like save your teammate syndrome, but whatever it is, like making sure that you don't give up multiple deaths. Shakiro can't come back and save.
I like that as well. Straight into the face of the Bloodseeker. GGG just instantly jumps on top of him.
Get in there.
Doesn't even need to throw the bam. It's gone. Very, very nice. Good little play there. Mid lane as well. Ing jumping in onto Solo. Does hold back the puck with the Nightmare. He's been dream coiled. Pasha comes in time. Will sprout Ing and stop him from going for anything further aggressive. Lil's there with the cutoff. Good positioning from the Bounty. Does he have the damage? He does have the level 1 Shuriken. The arrow. Oh! GGG with the rotation. It's going to be enough. Ing's going to be fine. And in fact, GGG couldn't quite do it wrong. Down the sentry. Oh, he's got him! Oh, it's not enough damage though. The raindrop blocking an instance of the ice path, and it is enough to get Lil out of that. But nonetheless, some clutch plays coming from Keen around that mid. Some great movements from the Mirana. Up and down, ready to go. And of course, off the back of this and the good farm, we're seeing nice net worth on GGG and No One. No One's still at the top on this Death Prophet. He is going to be a huge threat, of course, when it comes to the push. But Keen Gaming will be kitted out to deal with it. GGG picking up the first plate of Alacrity and will begin his road towards the defusal. Straight up
is under attack.
Mid lane Keen Gaming immediately ready to make a play. They have Moonlight Shadow ready to go.
Radiant's bottom
Dream
tower
Coil
is
back
under attack
and available for this play.
This Puck needs way more items. He's been really hurt by the Bounty Hunter and does not have the luxury of track. So it looks like they're anticipating a smoke around the mid lane. Radiant did use a scan closer to bottom rune, but instead it is going to be bottom, but there's no one there. So Virtus Pro have covered both their angles. Lil's still hunting. He's only level 3. He needs a tome badly.
Yeah, the levels are getting pretty slim on this Bounty. In fact, well, Solo's definitely heading to yeah, Solo's level 5 at the moment on the Bane. Mid lane, coming in for the gank, looking for Wrong. Sprout him out, TP's coming through, but Wrong's gone. He's down. Ing, can he find anything in return? Silence to make sure he can't jump forward. Dark from the sidelines on the tree line. Drops down the ult. It's going to bring down Pasha with the Dream Coil as well. No escape for the Furion. They get anything more out of it though. Moonlight Shadow being used as they try and close the gap. Xianming on the front lines, but he holds back. Doesn't want to go blindly into the high ground of VP. And VP will be fine for now.
I will say this Puck's a little underwhelming in his spellcasting. He firstly leveled up level 1 phase, which I generally just don't think is a great idea.
I mean, he was kind of forced to though, wasn't he?
Not really.
You don't think? Could have just orbed or.
Yeah, orb is fine. You also, like, the orb level 1 is really nice too because the orb's level 1 is really nice too because you can make your block much easier with the orb. Yeah. I think it's definitely worth casting. But level 1 phase shift is like it doesn't help you secure the range creep in lane 2. With the orb, you can secure your range creep. So I didn't already like that from him. Maybe he'll step it up. Maybe he's throwing off out of Bounty.
And here's the power of VP's lineup that Keen Gaming needs to be pretty scared about. No One absolutely massive on the Death Prophet. When these sort of pushes come through, can Keen Gaming put a stop to them? Turning up as 5. Can they open up this sort of fight? It's so hard for them to do. GGG not quite here on the Mirana. They may just have to let this tier 1 go. They're looking to, they really want to do this Dream Coil pod, and oh, they've got it! No One's gone, Solo as well, Keen Gaming choosing the absolutely perfect time to go, and they're not done yet. Pasha trying for the TP out, he's not gonna make it. They have the Void from the Night Stalker to cancel the TP. The tier 1 still stands, and Keen Gaming shut down an incredibly fat Death Prophet push. The tower will still fall to the creeps, but nonetheless, quite a defense for Keen Gaming to pull off in a very tough situation, as it seemed.
Yeah, that was a sick jump. I love that sort of initiation where everything just goes right for one team.
I mean, it just seems like 9 out of 10 times watching other pro teams there, they would see the Death Prophet, they would just let the tier 1 go. But yeah, great decision to try and fight, timing it perfectly. to get no one at the end. You know, as a Death Prophet, you're feeling a little cocky. You're like, well, the heal's about to come in. I can just continue to stand the ground. They bring him down in time. They're not actually done. They're looking for more already. Dark will get Nightmared. Void with the wraparound. Actually has the Void onto the Bloodseeker with the jump in from Ling. They're going to get a boundless strike, won't do it. But the rest of the lineup will. Ramses is down. Keen Gaming finding an 11th kill in this game. Have the push on the mid lane. It will be their turn to claim a tier 1 tower.
Right now, their biggest problem is that it's only really Death Prophet that's good at team fight.
Middle tower has fallen.
Blitz mentioned like the Bounty Hunter Death Prophet combination. Like you have Track and then you have the team fight Death Prophet because Bounty Hunter is really bad at team fight. But the rest of their lineup's actually really bad at team fight too. Bane is like so not terribly great for all these like long range cancels. You have like the Boundless Strike, the Coil, and looks like they will.
Tianming, is he going to find Pasha in time? Ooh, not quite. Pasha's out with the TP. Little still in the neighborhood. You know, the vision down. They'll drop a scan. Tianming seeing if you can find either the Nature's Prophet or the Bounty Hunter hiding in the sidelines.
Tiny bit late.
What's up?
Look at the chicken fighter too. It's always in the trees. Like if you just set it straight from the fountain.
So aware of the potential snipes.
All these small things. Well, there's also 2 snipers in there too.
Illusion.
They better be careful.
Smoke up from Ramses to Solo. They want to try and do something. They've got Rupture and Fiend's Grip.
It's a very unexpected gank too. Like if you're Keen, you're not really, because there's no towers. They might get a kill, but they won't get a tower, and there's no even Track. So even if he dies right now, it's not even that big of a deal. He's happy with this.
Nothing he can do here. They surround and they bring him down. Free kill. VP money into the bank of Ramses, rocking that Midas, of course. Here, 14 minutes, and actually going Midas. He's queued up the BKB, so a rather early one, but you look at the lineup of Keen, it's going to do a lot if you can get it online. And in terms of damage, as long as they're fighting around the Exorcism, that's not an issue. They just want to keep the Bloodseeker alive and running at heroes whilst they get brought low.
Or are they going to be super careful? Doesn't look like it.
They've been careful so far, but this looks to be the slip-up. Where will go? Lil finally gets it. He's been hunting for it. Full game did have the completed Tranquils on for Jakiro, so Wrong will... We'll have to walk a little slow for the time. Look at this wraparound from Keen. They're looking for action down bottom. They're going to find it. Solo in trouble. TPs are coming through. The Solo, he is not going to survive. That's the Bane down. VP will still come forward. Got the Blood right. Force Keen Gaming to back temporarily, though. Keen still happy to stick around in the neighborhood. VP, man down. We'll see how careful they play. Pasha putting the split push pressure on Dark. Just at the vision, they've got the Exorcism ready though, VP. Do they really want to try and fight this? Dark says yes he does. Drops the Wukong's command. They've put the Void Slow onto the Bounty Hunter. He's down. Dark in trouble though. Sprouted up again. Doesn't have a way to cut himself out of the tree. The Wukong's command still going though, and no one. He's trying to fight with the Exorcism, but he's gone. Double kill for Ramsey, then return. VP this time turning around big time. And they'll take down them all. Keen Gaming getting a little too ahead of themselves, and you could not afford to do that against a Bloodseeker lineup behind that sort of a tower. They just turn, and as soon as you're low, Ramses is just given a free fight to run around and absolutely beat the living daylights.
Not a super great place for them to take a fight. It's so far back behind the T2, and they're just getting wailed on by the tower the entire time. At least it was, what, only 1 Track kill, I believe, on the Twin Head. But yeah, I mentioned Ramses is there on clean up crew. But no one's doing his job, right? He gets his ulti, gets not a lot of damage off, he's tanking as much as he can. But yeah, Ramses, the real breadwinner there. Puck did not have Blink that fight too. That's a big issue.
Yeah, this is the new pickup for Ink. Lil is on the hunt for him, Solo. Won't find him, Lil. That's the whereabouts. He will have Dreamcore back on. In fact, look at this, Keen. Want to try and take the pick. Solo being chased by the creeps.
Very worried, because they knew they used Crypt on bottom. You could hear it, but they're wondering why the heck would a Bane be up here so low.
Well, I like this one because they saw the Bane solo, and they said, well, if he's going to be up there, maybe we can find someone else alone. We do start to head down, but...
They just you can't assume that he's alone right there. Yeah. There's no way that you assume that he's alone.
Dire are scanning.
Yep. In fact, it's the rest of the team making the go straight away onto Ramsey. They jump up to the high ground. Ramses is gone. Dark and Tianming finding the chance to get a big jump onto the safe lane of VP.
That was great.
is under
Lil
attack.
was like, okay, this puck's back here. He's their main jumper, right? So they didn't actually expect the gank to happen right there because the puck was so far back. So it looked like Ramsey was just being a little bit greedy, but it was actually, he was trying to get as much out of it. He's trying to waste their time. It's like, okay, puck can only blink so far, maybe coil.
Dark, he's in a lot of trouble.
No one does this to me.
Track kills.
Radiant's bottom
Slowly but
tower
surely,
is under attack.
hemorrhaging. Kept,
It's tasty gold.
Radiant
Any sort of kill like that. Bottom lane, trying to find this tower. Solo comes in with the nightmare, but immediate jump forward from Ing. Looks to try and burst him down. Ice Bar's going to be off the mark. This is scary for Keen Gaming now. With the tracks coming out wrong, he's gone. They have the Fiend's grip onto GGG. He's trying to run, he's trying to hide, but no one's speeding up to him with a phase in yours. Catches him out. It's going to be another track kill for Virtus Pro. Ing will be very fortunate to get himself away. TP's out. Underneath the rupture will make it. Again, these kills. Some tasty gold for Virtus Pro. As you can see, the 3 top net worth all being over the side of Virtus.
So they were doing well in like the 8 to 13 minute phase of the game because they were grouping up together and team fighting, but now they're getting picked up by the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter just find someone, okay, someone walks over, someone TPs in with Nature's Prophet, and then some of them are like, okay, we need to fight, and some of them are like, okay, we just need to kill this Bounty Hunter so they can't scout. So I mean, there's 2 ways to approach it, right? You prevent their eyes so they can't actually get any good ganks, or you just team fight them because their team is terrible. But you had 2 heroes doing 2 different things, and they were just split up. 3 people down on bottom is not a team fight.
I mean, as we can see here, his early levels may have been a little slow in the terms of experience, but just his involvement, his movements, always where the action's at, making sure that his team get away, and also with the positioning as well, especially against some of these more elusive heroes like the Monkey King and the Park. Absolutely crucial for Lil to be where they are in sort of the back end. Spotted out by Sentry and Dust. There's a bit of an awkward position for Keen to get to. Ing trying to close the gap. Another dust popped. That second dust, though, didn't clip him, so Lil will be fine. Just out of range of that second one, popped by Ing, so Lil will survive.
He is being so
Dire's
annoying.
middle tower is under attack.
Certainly getting the job done. And now the smoke goes out.
Gold remains.
What can Keen find? Solo at the moment the closest, not really the kill that they want. Ramses would be the dream. Ramses does nearly have his BKB, and that's going to make these smokes so much harder.
Oh no, he might get it before this fight. That would be terrible for Keen.
Oh, it's so close. It's on the courier out to him. He needs his BKB, he's got it now. This is where it gets scary. Instantly pops it as soon as it's picked up, and now it's time to turn for Virtus Pro. They turn towards GGG, cut down the Mirana, and the rest of Keen Gaming have to get themselves the hell out of there. BKB charge expended, but absolutely worth it there for Ramses. Puts a stop to the smoke attempt from Keen Gaming, and is able to turn it around and take down their own carry. For more. No one still has the exorcism going. He's got a shrine, but I don't know if the shrine here is going to be enough to save Ing. It's not. He's down. The double bounce with the shurikens as well with the track. Going to mean another for VP. These track kills absolutely big. The bounty hunter pick seeming to be the real dream here for Virtus Pro. They knew that they could utilize it, and certainly they have here. 21 minutes in, 9k gold lead. The kill's not that different, the farm neither so, but the track kill's really stealing the show here for VP. And they're not done yet. Asher comes in with the Sprout. Dark in trouble, still no way to cut himself out of that one. It's another kill given away, and they're not done yet. Immediate smoke trying to close the gap and get the jump onto GG. Leap away, won't chase it, they'll turn for the objective instead. Tier 2 down, 21 minutes in, Virtus Pro now starting to really amp up the pressure. And the question is if Keen Gaming have the lineup to put a stop to it. It's going to be hard. Look at just the net worth difference between these core heroes, already over a 2k in each respective position between the sides.
Well, that's a smart way to deal with your like a team fight. Just mass BKBs. Or Leon, they're actually not concerned about the mid game. That's what this tells me with their BKB pick. They're like, okay, if we survive the mid game with our BKBs and break even / slightly win the team fight, we'll be late game. Because Puck has to deal with a lot of silences. They'll be able to split push far better because of the Nature's Prophet, and Bounty Hunter has just been ruining this mid game. Wasting so many smokes.
78% cooldown efficiency. Well, is that good, Ben? I want to see that
Doesn't sound
percent
great.
higher. No, come on, Rams. 22% loss.
He has died 4 times.
Yeah, true. When you're watching that efficiency, Rams, we expect the best of the best from you, sir. Mid-lane, solo. Take one for the team here. We'll get the pick off.
I think this puck really needed to push Keen's tempo up. Like he didn't do great in the lane, but he still got his like blink far too late. They need to be crushing all these team fights because they have better team fights. And if you're losing team fights during nighttime against a bounty hunter, it's really bad for you. So something went drastically wrong for them in the mid game. A little bit of it was them splitting up. A little bit was just and getting picked off. But I think a little bit too was just poor play. Taking fights where they shouldn't have been taken.
This mid lane King himself is actually trying to find something, but they're losing the tier 2 top.
You're rushing against a Blood Rage Death Prophet. That is probably one of the fastest building seekers you're going to get in the game, like 23.
You got to get backwards. You got to do something about this push.
Maybe like Pugna and Clinks I would kind of put closer there.
No one's just in. He pops the BKB. He's ready to go, ready to chase. Will self-fuels himself. Actually just goes for the TP out, and he knows he can make it. There's no way to cancel that one. No one's back to base. Bill's out as well. They get a decent amount of damage done there to the tier 3 towers. Nearly gone down, only 184 HP left. And they are out of there. So yeah, these sort of pushes, these sort of plays, maybe just a little too much for King Gaming to deal with their lineup as it is at this stage. Lil been doing an awful lot as well on the bounty in terms of just getting intel and putting on the pressure and making it really hard to deal with. These professional teams, bounty hunters, are not really a hero that they're probably that used to playing against in this current patch. And Lil, again, Duster being popped, it's not catching him. He's just walking around, they're hunting. But VP getting ever so much more out of these sort of plays. It's just time wasted for Keen Gaming and space created for Virtus Pro.
I noticed that's the way VP's playing. They don't have extra support. They don't have the BKB up either, and they're just kind of playing on a will, trying to stall time until these cooldowns are up too. Like if solo dies, whatever, who cares?
And they certainly realized the hero that they can kill, but at what cost? Because Ramses, he's in with the BKB. He's looking for Dark. Taking quite a bit of a punch though into the cover of this Wukong's command. Does have to get himself out of there. Jump out to the side from Ming. He is ruptured, and he's also in a whole world of trouble. Silence, no way to remove. He will be removed from the game. 45 seconds, no puck for Keen.
See, the puck's always in one item behind too. A little bit because of the bounty hunter, a little bit just because I don't think he's particularly playing that well, but he needs Yules to get rid of these sources of silence. There's 3 silences right now. The Prophet has an Orchid before he has his Yules. That's a big problem. It's a big problem.
I know Roshan. Virtus Pro. King Gaming, what can they do to stop him? Oh, this is the dream as well. Look at that. Look, Arcane Rune on no one. He's about to wear out. He gets out the exorcism. What? Just before it ends. That's going to feel good there for the Death Prophet. Maximum efficiency. No one. Roshan melts in a matter of seconds, quite literally.
This sustains. Gold remains.
The Aegis ready to push BKB Hydras. This is just to have to deal with this sort of push, this Death Prophet with the lineup. It's just so scary.
It's not supposed to be that scary though. I think like Death Prophet has that huge disadvantage that you're not particularly strong without your ultimate, and I don't really think King capitalize on those opportunities, right? So
yeah, I mean there's definitely that time you can work around, but even then, just having these amount of defensive items on.
Yeah, I do like the pipe.
The pipe and the BKB this early.
BKB, yeah. I mean, he's very unlikely to die, but like in a team fight, if he doesn't have his ulti, who cares? Like, just ignore it. Kill everyone else. Focus everything on the blood.
Well, you say that, but as we're seeing, even just the silences. If he throws out good silence in the team fight, that's the job done for no one. Causing issues for King Gaming's heroes.
There's not that many moves left. Like, they're going to have a really hard time playing against his BKB.
Ramses. Yeah. I mean, we're sort of just the straight up example of that. Just pop the BKB. Sees the kill, takes the kill. It's falling apart quite heavily here for King Gaming now. 15k gold lead for Virtus Pro Dark. Trying to cut the creeps, but already we're on to the tier 2. Virtus Pro,
Dire's bottom
and they
tower
show
has
no
fallen.
plans of stopping with this push. No one. Exorcism back up, immediately popped. They're ready to go. Arrow, not going to make the connection. VP just diving in deep. Dark trying to hold the pack, pops out the Wukong's command, but BKB's already happened. No one with his Siphon and the Exorcism, just ripping Keen Gaming apart. Double buyback, triple buyback comes out, but what can they actually achieve with this one? They pop the fortification as well. Solo in trouble. Boundless Strike does help bring down the Bane. The rest of VP is starting to back off. The tier 3 almost down.
Dire's middle tower
Keen,
is
can they
under
actually
attack.
get some good action out of this? The BKBs are off. They've already been popped, but of course the Aegis is still there for Ramses. Jump forward from Ing. Can they burst in once? They can. They're bringing down Ramses once. GGG still alive. Right next to him, the Ice Path holding no one in place, but it can't keep the Mirana safe. He's gone. They lose the Jakiro as well. Now, in fact, it's Virtus Pro coming in with the buybacks, trying to turn things around. They do lose Lil on the bounty, but it's a very expensive fight for Keen Gaming. And the price is going to get even higher. Funeral costs through the roof for this side as they lose the Monkey King. And this is probably going to be everyone dying again. Ing may be lucky. A little too slippery. Or maybe just the fact that VP don't care enough to chase that puck at this stage of the game. They're 23k ahead in terms of gold. 30 to 19. 8 HP, but not for long as VP clean up the bottom tier 3. They're moving in on multiple lanes of practice now. As this game should look to be on the verge of pretty much being over. This is... It was a little bit of a slow start for Virtus Pro. Keen Gaming showing some hope in the laning stage, but when it came to sort of just coordination, splitting and pushing it apart, and then we have it, the GG comes out. Virtus Pro, of course, just on the level that we expected, and Keen Gaming not providing us the upset that maybe something we're looking for.
I still think the Keens, yeah, they're good first 10, 12 minutes of the game, but yeah, once that mid-game came around, when Lil had track, they just really was, they were at a loss as to what to do and how to handle.
ago. 20, 30 minutes ago. They didn't want to. As it stands right now, they got the Rex. Probably gonna get the next Roche. And now, for the first time in a long while, it is the Helsinki Reds who are forced to make something happen. Because none of them have buybacks. They cannot afford something like that again. They need to have to find the initiator, to find the kill. Radek, charge Womper. Anyone who dies here on South Helsinki Reds is not going to come back. At the same time, there is of course an argument to say, hey, let's continue hiding in our base. But at the same time, there's also an argument to say, hey, we're not actually winning these high ground defenses. So we need to come up with something else. That maybe this is it here. Smoking towards, like moving towards us, but they're smoking now. It was in that shadow. They have that massive vision range from the Night Stalker, so they do Radek. There's the gem platable. But the hookshot will connect here. Pablito, bossed up, a little bit of help here, and now the BKB comes through first. Womber trying to stay alive. Pablito might be the first one to fall here. Right click down indeed. But now Ryan forced up to the high ground. The Hex Zone, enough damage. And then Arc 1 down for the count. The clone is still very much alive, but Shinigami hoping to take that down eventually if time's away anyway. This might actually be it. This might actually be it. Roshan will fall. The Aegis and Cheese, another 100 seconds on the side of Arc 1, 60 seconds range in that position. Missing a clockwork, but whatever. EXL. We realize that they're strong independent players. And they should just be finishing up Mega Creeps and force out the GG now, unless there's some sort of miracle. CEO, it's all on him now. Let's try and make that happen. The hero keeping back in. Triple arrow. One of them connecting, but hey. Thorax. They'll have the blood written at the blast. Right, it's curious. That was happening here. Zero. Nice block in the back. Trying to be cheeky. This is gonna be Magus. It's gonna be game. Arrows flying through. Central Radek, but only the immense illusion that feels fit to walk forward. They will hold on for one more team fight. They can hold on till Arc 1 comes back. On the backs here, they have to be careful not to lose too many heroes there while that happens, though, while he's still respawning. And the Ancient Apparition, that's a big one. No Ice Blast here. But all the region capacity of all these heroes will be in full swing. That is blocking out because we found, you know, the Ice Pass with the Magnifiers. Another Doom available here. Night Stalker, Hookstutter, should end up falling here. The arrows come through, need another force up to get it. Somebody's getting around here, right? Another Rupture, see you. Another one called by it. It is all down to the Arc 1. The 3-1 is up in the Phantom. Rainyard is actually dropping lower and lower. He's not the Aegis carrier, so he'll be dead for the thing. He wants to buy back another arrow connecting too. Gami actually dropping lower and lower here. Pico, move forward, surge away, but nice little cog play from you. Backing all you do from all you okay. So it gets slowed down on Poplito, but he does have help from his friends. So no one extra dying. This game continues to go on. Helsinki Reds, they don't want to take the fly down. Going to try and hold on against Mega Creeps. At the very least, this means that they're probably not going to be able to keep pushing out the lanes just for the Tempest level and expect to be able to do tower damage with it. Just be a minute of time. Still no buybacks for another 2 minutes or so, so there's a timing window for 3XL.
Illusion.
There's no reason not to take advantage of it. They still have the Aegis and partner. Gonna flat seek it back in a moment. And put the trouble level 2, yeah, right? to walk in, and that helps. Link hacks, no AA. Behold the final push. Calling it now. Let's go down to Arc 1. If you do catch up to him, if you do have the damage to work with him, you actually have this is actually all the tanks. I want to work with too many health points. But yeah, this is like BKB's coming through, trying to take the round. Radek taking too much damage here, completely not taking over the front lines. He might die here. They're holding on to the ancient for the time being. That's also Radek and Arc 1 will fall another time. The Tempest double 2. The GG is finally called. 67 minutes. They released me from my curse. Lukaski game like this. 3XO, triple O, everyone. They tie the series 1-1, which means Magloris has to wait for his opponent one more game. We'll take a break, but I'll be back in a moment, so don't go too far away.
Radiant are scanning.
invisibility.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
My just reward. My thrift rewarded.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Hellfire extinguished.
Shadows take us.
Double damage.
It's not like their mid player has to shine. Like Miracle can have a
Dire
force.
We saw, I believe, capabilities of this hero against a Chen's to get the wall down.
Beastmaster's right click is very, very strong at level 1.
It is, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
66 in order with the extra fairy fire, 68 right click. But how does he do it? Surely in a lane against the Ember Spirit, there's going to be a bit of...
Beast.
Big Boy's just too beefy really to worry about.
His attack animation is really, really good. His attack speed's pretty decent for a strength hero.
Top lane.
Yeah, so...
2 missed stuns there from SG. A nice little juke, to be fair, from Miracle to dodge out the Impale from the Nyx Assassin. Could have got a little hairy for him up there. Does have the salve ready, so should be fine for now.
Yeah, he's already burned through a fair amount of reach. At least he got pulled a little bit. Once he gets a poor mission again, he should be okay. But this is where Chen has to direct his efforts. However, they do have observer wards up there, so they will easily see this coming.
Harassment onto Costabile. They've got the Hellbear Smasher. Why didn't he get him thrown out of the dagger there? The dagger actually looks like Miracle casted it on the ground. Doesn't matter either way, because with the free pathing, he just crosses the tree line, takes the first blood.
Wow, that was a super greedy play from Rana. He sees the Hellbear running at him, and then he arrows the other.
Another creep. Yeah.
And on top of that, like, not only is that a greedy play, you're also revealing the fact that you don't have leap. So it's... yeah.
Next level play. All top. Hey, here we go. It's all about the long comp. They managed to turn around, look for Miracle. Miracle is going up, though, looking to try and fog them. And in fact, he's going to make it. Theolacor can't chase that down on his own. And Bardino and Costa Biel have already been fended off by GH and Kuroki. Theolacor himself in trouble. The Hellbear Smasher